Hello everyone. In this video, right, we'll try to learn how to work with others project, and then you might face different situations like someone might be using not this default view or your particular view like panels, all those things, right? Some might have been changed. They might be using their different perspective, right? Their easiness, they might change this particular column, this particular side, and then they are not using this one, and then they might move this, and then they add different portion of this particular left side, right side, all those things, right? You don't want, because when you want to work with some other project, right, when you open up by default, right, Blender opens up with that particular view as well. So suppose what I meant to say is, right, suppose I'll just open up this like this. So someone wants to keep it very low here, they don't want this one, so what they will do, just move it like this. And then they don't want this as the left side, they might have drop sheet, they've added these things and right, all those different. And then suppose this is a different guy and then he's working in this particular view. His default plane is like this. Let me just save this, save as, and then I'll just save this shortcut _1. Just wanted to show you. Suppose you are working as a team or you are importing some other's project, right? Let me just close this, and then as I'm using a different view, right? So what I'll do, I'll just get that particular file from my teammate or somewhere I've downloaded. Now if I try to open that particular file, right, from wherever you might have downloaded or you might have got it from your friend or like this, right? So let me just show you what I meant to say is, if I try to open that file, right? So now if you see, right, all the stuff looks like, because as you have built your view in Blender Video Editor, and then you somehow, if you see, right, then you have to again fix that, or you have to change all the stuff, right? Though this looks very pretty odd, and then you have to identify like which particular this scene, and then you have to again align that. It might take some time. So in this video, right, I will show you how to default view, right, what you are using, or you want to have just default view when you open up, right? So how you can do it. That's what I want to cover in this. So let's just quickly begin. So this is the video. Right, let's just close it and then show you how to avoid that particular stuff. So I'm opening again. So once you try to open, right, so this is the particular project. So if I click this, right, so before importing, right, there is an option here, load UI. So what happens, right, by default, right, this particular section is clicked. It is nothing but whatever the projects you have copied or you have downloaded, once you open up, right, it automatically loads the UI what they are using, the particular user or that particular member. So I don't want that one, because I don't want that preloaded, right? So what I can do, I can just unclick this. By default it will be enabled, so you can just click and then open. So once you open, right, sometimes, right, it doesn't open. So what you can do, just go here in background, it might have opened. So if I click, right, so now if you see, right, the default view what was there in your system, so it gains up that particular stuff. So I've covered already video, so how to set your default view as well, so you can just watch it. But now if you see it, it doesn't have that particular UI. So if I now close and just show you one more time, I'm just opening it here again, open, and then just go to this. Now if I do, right, so it opens up that by default whatever the copied with that particular project, right, it opens up. That's how you can avoid. There's another option, right, by default, right, if you don't want every time to, when you open, right, what I mean to say is, right, let me just open up one more project, and then by default, right, when you're selecting this particular project, right, and then you don't want every time to have this option selected like load UI, select this option, right? So what you can do, there is an option which I will show you. I'll close this and then they'll go to edit and preferences. In preferences, right, you go to save and load. There is the option load UI. So by default, right, it is enabled. You can just select this to load UI. So if you feel, right, you are comfortable with only your UI or your view panel or whatever settings you have, then you just unclick this and then just close this one. So now if I close this, right, and then open up again project, go to open. Now this time I'll not select any stuff, so I'll just because I'm not selecting anything, because default, right, if you see, this is disabled by default. I'm not doing by manually every time. Then just like load, go to video editing, and then go to here video editing workspace. Now if you see, right, the panel, default panel comes up with that particular video. It doesn't load particular user or particular downloaded their particular preview or panel. So that's what I want to cover. This is very easy. So, and sometimes it is very difficult to find out like how to set up your by default panel when you are downloading from others, right? That's what I want to cover in this video. Thank you all for watching. Bye bye.